Welcome in. A little bit of an away game here. I'm at my dad, stepmom's house, Michigan, where it is hot and sticky. How's the audio? I didn't bring my microphone or anything to this on this trip. It's just heavy, kind of a pain. So, how's the weather? We have anyone here on the show that is at the event? Anyone at the track? Audio's good. Anyone out there? Ryan's in Chicago. It's cloudy. Okay. Drunk as Hull is there. Turns 1-6. Humid. Okay. I don't know about weather today. This is just what sportsbook was Stay Green too sharp for. Oh, well, yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah, I don't know. All of them. But let's get into it. Happy 4th to everybody. Sounds like DraftKings. No comment. All right, let's take a poll. I got Imperial Berry Cider, but for everyone that likes the IPA worm in the morning, I got an 8% cider here. So we'll see how this goes. Bowman to win the in-season challenge? He certainly could. What up, Go Fast? All right. Well, I've had so many beers. Cheers. Happy race day, even though it's in Chicago and it's going to rain. Yeah, my picks just, I don't know. There's something about them that they don't like. I don't know what it is. Derek, how's it going? All right. Well, Nuke, what up? Or Keg? If you're Nuke or Keg, I'm not quite sure. Or whatever. Anyway, take another poll or pull. All right, we'll take another poll. Yeah. Okay. Well, let's get into kind of the show. I'll say this: I haven't bet anything based on weather, SVG pulling it, and the 2 best cars not qualifying. That's right. The 2 best cars in practice didn't qualify. Like we had a chance for someone to contend with SVG, and now they're coming from the rear. They need luck. So SVG, was he good? Yes, he was good. I mean, we don't need to talk about SVG, right? We all know he's going to be good. He's going to lead a lot of laps. I think if you're going to be betting any outrights other than him, you just wait until he leads a lot of laps. I think that the faster cars will be coming from a little deeper. So I'm not going to talk about SVG. It would take some sort of bad luck for him to not lead a lot of laps today and win the race, in my opinion. However, you think people are sick of hearing about SVG? I don't know how I think you take I wish I had Zillich yesterday. I wish he had just kind of blocked SVG going into one instead of giving him the inside. So the Internet Media Center here sucks. Okay, in the back cave. Yeah. We only talk about like 4 races here. It's like 6, and he wins them all. A good chance. So, all right, we're done with SVG. Okay. People here are obsessed with SVG. Crazy. Well, I mean, he wins, whatever. Yeah, it does make him a villain. He does make him a villain, Ross. It kind of makes him the bad guy that everyone wants to, NASCAR fans want to hate. So that's a good point too. Yeah. All right. So SVG, obviously really good. I separated practice kind of between Group A and Group B just because the times were very different between the two. That could have been because of the talent level. Let's be very honest here. The talent level in Group A versus B, wasn't quite the same. So Michael McDowell, very good car. I think that Michael McDowell has not only the car, I wouldn't say the talent is SVG, but he has the balls, and he'll be real hard to pass. So I think that I just hate his price is so short. If you had McDowell before practice and qualifying, you're sitting good. I think that if there is someone that would be hard for SVG to pass, I think it's Michael McDowell. I think his car is good enough. His talent is pretty good. But yeah, I say speeding on pit road or like hitting a wall late trying to win. Yeah, I think Gillen's good. I think Gillen's pretty good. The DePaul curse. Carson Hocevar. Carson, let's see, where are my notes on him? I don't know. Hocevar is just a guy you can have if you have him at 35-1. If you have him top 5, top 10 before practice and qualifying, yeah, you're sitting good. I would not touch the numbers now. I think that that's kind of burnt. So I think he'll be around, but also it's a high beta track. This just does not seem like a Carson Hocevar situation. This also would be a great place for Ricky to get some, if they're ever around each other. This is the race Ricky could easily get revenge, not hurt anybody. Yeah, Ross, I agree. Okay. Tyler Reddick. Well, this is the place where Tyler Reddick has had some success in the past. His car was not as good as we've seen in the past on road course races, but he's solid. He's finally got some track position. And I think he's going to need to get to I don't think he drives to the lead, but he's someone that could keep it. I think there's a few people that could keep the lead today if they get it. I think McDowell is one of them. Ty Gibbs is one. Reddick is one. I would put Blaney kind of just out. I don't think Blaney could hold the lead. But there's 2 other drivers that were phenomenal that I'm pretty sure. Yeah, the post-qualifies team. Rain does make Bell dangerous, absolutely. Let's keep moving. Chase Briscoe, really good qualifying. Not what we wanted to see, or not what he wanted to see in practice. I think he was kind of out to lunch, especially relative to some of the guys that were running really fast laps later in practice. He was not. Just a good qualifying effort. Chase Briscoe's hang on for dear life. Like both hands on the wheel, try to keep in the top 10, and then get the hell out of here to Sonoma. That's where I think Chase Briscoe is. Kyle Busch, I don't know. More the same with Kyle Busch. I don't know. Does anybody have a feel for Kyle Busch? Like, he was terrible in practice. I mean, beyond terrible. Briscoe is a good rain racer. That's a good point. Briscoe is a good rain racer. I don't think he's as good as Bell. I think SVG is going to be good. I think that this race, I know that we talk about finish top 10 at both races. There you go. I just think he's hanging on. Wait, are you talking about Kyle Busch or are we talking about Briscoe? Andrew, were you talking about Briscoe or Busch? Yeah, zero trust. I don't trust him either. Yeah, Kyle Busch. I just don't trust him. Yeah. Larson top 5. Larson did not look that good. We'll just keep her moving. Ryan Preece. Just okay, fine. Ryan Preece, his practice. Like, there's just a few guys that stood out in practice. And like I said, the only competition I felt like we were going to have with SVG, is starting deep. So let's see, where's Ryan Preece? Ryan was solid. Just a solid, I don't know, it's the most Ryan Preece type car we've seen. Briscoe took out SVG in rain last year. Yeah, otherwise, yeah, he was wrecking himself. Yeah. Chris Buescher. Obviously, Chris Buescher is going to be strong. He's just never, I just don't know that he's a threat to win today, right? He's good. He's not great. I don't know. I think he's the guy you take top 5 and top 10 week in and week out at road courses. And I think at the end of the year, you're up money just doing that. And I think you can do it before practice and qualifying, because I don't even think where he practices and qualifies matter. He just does the same thing. He's just so good. It could be real easy for Penske and Hendrick to only have one car in the top 10 today. Definitely some shots worth taking. Yeah, it depends. If the field flips at all, The field flips. There's some guys that could compete. Ty Gibbs, obviously, this is no surprise. Ty looked good in practice. If anyone is shocked about Ty Gibbs looking in practice, I'm shocked. He's decent here. Yeah. I like Ty today. Do I think he gets his first win? I don't know. I just wish there was I would love to see a non-rain threatened race here, but it's going to be late. I think the team that does the best tire strategy that works out wins. If you're live betting this thing, I think you want the leader of both strategies, if there's alternate strategies. And then I would say you also want the fastest car on those strategies. So if that's the case, I'll try to set up my card with protection, whatever the best odds between the leader of the strategy and the fastest car of the strategy, whatever kind of the better odds based on how they're running is kind of how I'll set that up. Does that make sense? So you'd have 4 outrights. You'd have the fastest car in each strategy and then the leader of each strategy. I think that kind of covers your bases. And then based on, the odds, I will kind of decide on whether the larger bets or the hedges, which one's bigger, right? Does that make sense? So if the faster car has just better odds than you think they should be, there's positive EV there, you take that one larger, and then with maybe a hedge, a smaller bet, just take the kind of the leader of that, because if it stays green, who knows what could happen. Yeah, at least excited about it. Yeah, I have 0 bets. 0. I think the top Ford long shot is probably Gilliland. I trust Gilliland more than Custer. He's just starting ahead of him too. Yeah, I'm big. I'm in Michigan. So let's see. Austin Dillon, he looked bad in practice. Great qualifying out of him. Both those RCR cars somehow qualified great. I think that they're not going to be good. Joey or Alex Bowman, God, just a solid, but he looked way better last year. So if you're saying, well, Alex Bowman won last year, he looked way better in practice last year than he did this year. He looked okay in practice, but he looked better in practice last year. He was clearly the second place car last year after practice. So I thought he was good in practice, but there were some other cars that had way more speed than him. And he's starting 11th. He's not going to drive up through the field. That's going to be really hard for him to pass Tyler Reddick, Carson Osbar, Michael McDowell, Ty Gibbs. Those are tough cars to pass. Joey Logano, old JoJo, did not look good in practice. This is, I think, a great qualifying for him. Strategy. Oh, Bowman's starting from the rear now. Oh, yeah. I was on the boat with my dad before I came in here. So going to the rear, he got 0 shot now. Yeah, okay. All Hendrick cars are going to the rear now. The only competition to SVG is going to the rear. And I'm not talking about Denny Hamlin. Kyle Larson did look like the worst Hendrick car, in my opinion, and didn't qualify well, and also going to the rear. Good luck. But this is also one of those races where Kyle Larson's car is kind of so off relative to where he normally is that maybe they take a risk and they end up on some aggressive strategy where if something happens, they could win. So keep an eye out for that. Brad Keselowski, I do not trust Brad on road courses. He was okay in practice, nothing great. I mean, I guess okay for him is good. I mean, he was significantly better than a Logano, a Kyle Busch, Austin Dillon, better than Ricky Stenhouse. But I just don't see him driving through the field. AJ Allmendinger, man, I was hoping he'd be a little bit more competitive on these. I bet SVG at open and threw him in a couple of parlays. If the field flips, I'll be betting Byron Elliott immediately. Yeah, that kind of is what it seems like here. Allmendinger, I wish I'd see more out of him. I think talent-wise, he's not SVG, but if he had the car underneath him, it'd be fun to watch SVG and Allmendinger go at it. I just do not see the car underneath him. Ryan Blaney. Blaney actually looked good in practice for him, in my opinion. But again, you're starting so deep. You're not flying up through the field. This is not an oval. Daniel Suarez. I just hate this race. Like, I hate the track to begin with. I think it's very difficult and hard to pass. And then throw in this whole rain thing, and it just makes it really difficult to be sure about anything. But yeah, Ryan Blaney looked good in practice. Not nearly as good as some of the other guys. Even like Will Brown, I thought was slightly better than him. Suarez here. Where is Daniel? Suarez did not look good. Suarez looked bad. And I want to say that he did something in qualifying where he got to follow Gibbs minus 140 or Dinger. Seems a bit short. Yeah, maybe a little bit. Yeah, Suarez will be whining. Yeah, Kaulig has been shit since they've been qualifying. NASCAR's a backup plan for what? Like if they get rained out? You really think it's going to get rained out? Yeah, Will Brown is fascinating because I would put Will Brown in this. He's going to learn a ton throughout the race. We've seen it, lightning rain, no track tomorrow. Yeah. You have to be at the top 5 this entire race, even a sniff a chance at winning. Everyone's practically a donation. Maybe. Yeah, they will. NASCAR's in a pickle here. Bet the leader. If I would say, man, if they leave odds up under rain and it's still not halfway, they still might call it. I shouldn't say that out loud. SVG might stay out for playoff points. The last 6 stage winners have not finished in the top 10 in the format. If he does that, it could be an opening to catch a price. Yeah, maybe. Gilliland, I trust Gilliland at road courses. There's some Galievers out there, top 10. He ain't sniffing a top 5 in my opinion, but yeah, I think they're going for 5 points too. Brown is very excited about being here. Didn't they call the Xfinity race with Custer winning short? Yeah, they did. 4, 5, 9, 10, 11, 23, 24, 47, 48, 78 for the rear. Hamlin for engine, rest for all repairs. Yeah, kind of a travesty because there's some fast cars back there that I thought had a legit chance at handing it to SVG, or at least competing with SVG. I think Will Brown, yeah, I like them top 5s and top 10s if you want to take a flyer. Like I said, I am still 0 on this race. There's better ways to make money than having a large opinion this week. Riley Herbst, sadly, a longer price than Catherine Legge. Says all you need to know about him. Ross Chastain, I actually thought he looked good in practice and then didn't qualify well. So you bet 3 Hendrick cars in the top 5 early in the week. That could be dead. I will say this. You weren't wrong in the bets, but that's this sport, man. That's the sport. Yeah, Max is going to get it done today on the golf course. Chastain. Let's talk about Ross here for a second. He did at times look decent, but he was also following SVG. He's also following SVG. So I think he learned a little bit, but wasn't able to carry that over to if you guys are joining and missed the beginning, Worm is very confident on this race and has multiple hours. Yeah, I got $0 on this. I tried to sneak some prices I tried to sneak some bets, and then they didn't. They got canceled. So present and Galieving. Yeah, there's some Galievers. Custer. I mean, he's going to have to steal tractors. The same with Gregson. I mean, he's going to the rear. Gregson looked good at times, but he could not keep it consistent. So even though he did have some fast laps, it was not consistently fast laps. So you need to be consistent to make passes and work your way up to the field. Yeah, 3 couch bets. That'd be sick to hit a couch bet live. It could. If this is, I'm telling you, like, as much as I hate this race beforehand, if you're paying attention during the race, you could find something potentially live. I really think you could. If someone pits and is on pit road and then the caution comes out, like, and it's a car that's capable, that could be good. You know, you're stealing a lot of track position with fresh tires. So, you know, just keep an eye out. I even though I'm pessimistic about stuff right now, I am optimistic that something might present itself. Yeah. Excuse me. John Hunter. I mean, again, I don't see him getting in that top 10 like he did at Mexico, but he could probably stay there. Let's see what his car looked like. I mean, his car looked about like Corey Himes. Poor Corey Himes. Oh, man. He looked better than Josh Berry, Josh Bilicki, Justin Haley. Ooh, Justin Haley compared to his teammates, man, you got to be – that is no good. John Hunter was okay. He's just going to have to get lucky to get up there. Zane, let's see. Zane looked okay. Just, I don't know. There's a bunch of cars that looked okay. He looked maybe not quite as good as Kyle Larson, about as, you know, maybe not quite as good as Brad Keselowski, you know, about as good as, I don't know, again, Corey Heim or like Chris Bell. Also not, wasn't super strong. We didn't even talk about Chris Bell, did we? I think Chris Bell, if it rains, will be good. Somehow, or track position, somehow he can steal it with Adam Stevens. Austin Cindric. Oof. I thought this guy was going to be a little better on road courses. This was pretty bad out of Cindric. Pretty bad. If anything, you're fading that guy. Can Herbst top 10 again? 20-1 is kind of, I do not think he can, but I don't think there hasn't been bets I've just loved. I don't think any bet can win. That would be my advice. No bets today can win. Thanks for tuning into my betting show. Don't bet anything. Maybe that's why I'm not sponsored. They give decent advice. Like, oh, if you're betting today, put in a 17 parlay. Let's see. Yeah, so Cindric almost like made a deal with the devil. Okay, I'll be a little better on ovals, but not as good on road courses. Justin Haley, really bad. Josh Berry, really bad. I mean, really bad. I mean, you know it's bad when they say that, like, sorry, your car's just trash. Just run it out in practice. Kyle Busch now to the back. Okay, well, there goes Kyle Busch. I mean, I'd be fading the shit out of Kyle Busch now. What are his matchups? I mean, I don't see. If Kyle Busch is going to the back, he ain't seeing the front. That car was bad. What do you mean a misprint? Well, I don't know. Walking. Let's see. Keep going. Keep going, Worm. Keep going. Austin Hill. I just don't like that guy. I don't know. Okay, don't think the A is going to the back. We got to figure this out. Ricky Stenhouse, bad. And then there's just a whole load of cars kind of at the back here. Stenhouse, clearly not good. I mean, do we want to cover Catherine's practice? No, we don't. Yeah, no one has 8 to the back. Okay. All right, Joey, talk to me here. Where you found that out, or where you think you read it? Eric Jones, not a good qualifying effort at all, obviously. Eric's a decent road course racer, but you're just starting back there, you know. Yeah, they keep this up where it will be. Jayski tweeted 8 to the back. Okay. Oh, it should be 78. Well, I can't figure this stuff out. Brian, you're at the track. Should be 78. It was listed wrong. Okay. Taking a pull. Okay. Yeah, I got to take a pull. Ooh, this is full. Bubba Wallace was decent. Okay, yeah, that has to be a misprint. It was a 78 to the rear. Oh, poor Catherine. Can't catch a break. I mean, I would have faded the hell out of Kyle Busch. I would have. Well, you weren't wrong, Joey. You were trying to help. Bubba Wallace, he looked good in practice. He's not driving through the field. Bubba doesn't drive through the field when he has a fast car in an oval. He just kind of keeps his track position. So I don't think he's going to be doing that today. Now let's talk about some fast cars. William Byron, super fast, was awesome in practice. I thought had the capability to hang, at least in the short run, with the 88. And then he hit the wall hard. And they had to work on that car a lot. If the 24 gets a chance to somehow get up, if it gets out front, no one's passing the 24. No one's passing 24. And the only car that I thought was better than the 24 was Chase Elliott. Chase Elliott was the best car in practice. I don't even think it was close. That Chase Elliott was the best car. So, yeah, love Byron Owens this week in terms of comp with SVG, towing stuff. Yeah. Byron in traffic. He's been tough. I'm just saying his car is fast. So I think Chase Elliott is the best car by a significant margin. Now, can he go out there and pass SVG? I don't know. I don't know that he can go up there and pass SVG, but I don't think SVG could pass him either. And he's won in the rain. But he's starting 39th. Yeah, I agree that you trust the 9 to pass more than the 24. Yeah. What crew chief? I trust Byron's. I trust Fugel to make the smart decision. I think that Gustafson can make the winning decision, but also potentially the losing decision. Yeah, they're not bets. They're not bets until SV, because SVG is going to get out to a lead. You're going to get out to a lead, and he's going to eat up a lot of the win equity. Elliott over Byron, a coin flip. I do give the edge to Chase there. Yeah, the crazy thing, Big Ross, when you talk about competence or competent on road courses, it's the same team that said flip the switch and you can run 2 laps at Watkins Glen. And you ran out of gas. It'll be interesting to see if these cars are able to make ground early. That's the other thing too. They could. Cindric minus 130 over Hamlin. Yeah. Cindric just wasn't good. Yeah, the race winner day is Cindric. Well, to see the best cars almost 20-1. I just don't know if they can. That's the thing. I think they need to get lucky. So, top 10. All right, here's top 10 rundown. SVG, McDowell, Reddick, Busher, Gibbs, Bowman, Bell. Geez, I need 3 more guys in there. I'm going to say the 24 and the 9. Who am I missing? Who do you throw in there? Dinger, Blaney. Okay, so here's the thing. If I can't come up with like a clear 10 guys, if I can't come up with a Gilliland, if I can't come up with a clear 10, maybe there's some top 10 value. This is maybe the first time when I've like had to try to figure out who that, maybe Blaney, maybe Gilliland. All right. Yeah, I'm going to give you 9. How's that? You know what? It's my show. So if I don't want to give you one, I'm only going with 9. Willie Brown. Yeah, it could be Willie Brown. I'll go Will Brown. Yeah. Yeah, give it top 9. Be sure to tune in to my show every week where I give you the top 9. 10 just seemed like too much work there. I don't know. I'd throw Will Brown in there. Will Brown is one of those guys where you kind of have him circled. If he moves up, let's just say in 4 or 5 laps, we see him up 2 spots. If he goes by Allmendinger, there's your key to, okay, you can't get sponsored with the top 9. If Will Brown goes by Allmendinger, okay, like, I don't know that he can drive up there and win the race, but I'll be watching his lap times. Yeah, Australian mob put Brown here just to take out SVG. Maybe. Might have been just the NASCAR mob. 1 dime on Chase Elliott, top 10, minus 135. I hate minus 135 for Chase. Like, so much can go wrong back there. Even with the fastest car, like, it's hard enough to win with the fastest car. I mean, that's the crazy thing. It's hard enough to win with the fastest car. I got to pick a winner now. Without SVG, I'm not going to pick SVG. All right, let me hear. Pitch me some winners here. Who should I pick for my winner? Based on speed, Elliott wins. Well, we're not SVG, right? This is winners without SVG. Based on speed, it's Elliott. Based on just track position and speed, it's McDowell. Based on weather and rain, it's Gibbs, Reddick, and Bell. If it's strategy, it's I mean, I think it's Bell and Logano strategy, I guess. If it's just a dry track, though, McDowell has got to be aggressive early and see if he can keep the 88 behind him. I'll be interested to see. I hope McDowell has something for him because he will not just ride like Connor Zillich did yesterday. That does not happen to Michael McDowell. Yeah, kind of giving the Joey Chestnut treatment. Yeah. All right. Anything else? I know we're going to cut it short. At home with the fam. Not really betting the race. I don't know. Any comments or questions about anything? Sorry, I wasn't very helpful. Maybe that's why I don't get sponsored. Because sometimes I think there's just nothing to bet. Ooh, latest NASCAR can get started. Probably 4. Maybe 3. McDowell and Gibbs are going to wreck each other. Who points races? That's a good question. If I had to put a few, let me just pull this up then. Outright flyer bets. So I guess your outright flyer kind of has to have this idea that if they get to the lead, they can't be passed. I mean, if you can't bet live, I would just take a nibble on Elliott. Buscher's not a terrible flyer bet. He looked average in practice, but 20-1. Will Brown at 66. I mean, yeah. Wow, Hocevar still 25-1. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe can Blaney get up there at 66-1? I mean, I had him in Mexico, and I didn't feel like he ever had a chance to win. Bubba is 250-1. He wasn't bad. I don't know how he gets to the front. I don't know. Does that help you? Yeah, Briscoe could be the stage 1 winner. I would agree with that. That actually, especially if the car's not good, Highline, right? If he thinks he has a race winning car, if he's able to get by, like, if he's in third, I don't think he wins the stage. Yeah. I'm just unsure. This is a tough one, especially if you didn't grab anything pre-practice and qualifying. But you could just see it was so hot here in the Midwest where there was a chance for rain. It already rained here in Michigan. So, yeah, good point, Joey. Bubba followed Reddick entirely during practice. Ooh, SVG and max parlay and log out. Yeah, maybe just check your account in the morning. Who's the only non-regular? Yeah, I think Brown has potential upside. Blaney over 2, 8, 19. Yeah, that's not bad. Plus 575. I just had higher hopes on him in Mexico, and he's kind of a dud. So, all right, everybody. Cheers. Happy 4th. Happy race day. Oh, I didn't even pick a winner. Did I pick a winner? I have to say McDowell. I think he's the only guy. I have to say McDowell. That's a non-SVG answer. So, all right. Cheers, everybody.